I am gaming. I am gaming. I am gaming podcast.
Hey everybody, my name is Ivica. Thank you so much for being on the latest episode of I'm Gaming Podcast. This is a podcast about the video game industry, entrepreneurship, gaming nostalgia, and many more cool things I find to be in the same domain of business and entertainment and creative ventures. Like always, a huge thanks goes to my Patreon supporters. Without you, this podcast would not be possible. So please check out all of their super interesting ventures, activities, and projects in the description below. Links will take you to their YouTube channels, Twitch streams, websites, games, and many more amazing things like these. If you too would like to support me on my epic adventure of creating new podcast episodes, please check out the link to the Patreon page and pledge a buck or two. I would be more than grateful for anything you might spare. In this episode, I'm going to start doing something I've been pondering about for some time now, and that is figuring out what else to add to my podcast. As you probably know, my main focus is video games, video game industry, and the whole ecosystems around video games. After all, I teach video game design in Novi Sad, Serbia. However, I found that my interest in talking about video games and video game industry is pretty divergent, and I often want to talk about different things as well. Lord knows that I had plenty of episodes about cryptocurrencies, for example, which isn't tightly connected to game design by any means. So I decided that this would be a pretty good platform or space to talk about things from the wider art world, consumer art, industry of entertainment, that I find really good or fascinating or interesting and think more people should know about them. It's not going to be kind of reviews or stuff like that. It's more of my discussions or things and thoughts about particular products from the entertainment industry and why are they relevant, good, or something that you should also consider checking out. So for this episode, I want to discuss a TV show that's pretty unknown, at least in my view, which is by far the best TV show I saw in the last actually 2 years or even more, and that's Evil, a TV series from CBS, which is currently in season 2. It's a supernatural thrillery drama that follows a team of investigators who want to figure out if particular events or people in the US, contemporary US, are possessed. Now, I know it sounds like something that you saw 1,000 times, especially in movies, horror movies, but it's amazing because it combines 3 different characters, one of which is a psychologist, another is a kind of a priest, Catholic priest in training, and the last one is a technical or tech consultant who is there for his perspective. All of them provide kind of a combined outlook on these issues they're facing on the individual cases, while at the same time they have their personal storylines developing in different directions. And the story of each episode is brilliant. I mean, this is a brilliantly written, brilliantly executed in terms of acting show that you have to check out. The best episodes are on par, at least in my view, with things like the first season of True Detective. I mean, the setting and the tone and the emotional kind of layout of the story is completely different, but the relevance and the power it brings in terms of character development, in terms of interconnectivity, internal cohesion, it's amazing. And the last episode I watched, I think it's season 2, episode 5, manages to deal with things like the role of women in the Catholic Church and the way Amazon treats its workforce in the same 42-minute episodes. Now that's amazing for any show to tackle even one of those topics, which is a kind of a hot button topic, and a lot of entertainment people would likely avoid anything similar. Evil takes it on and takes 2 of these completely unconnected, connects them in a single episode, and talks about it with a approach that is neither pathetic, neither sappy, or neither banal or bland, but something in between that combines so many things and manages to get its point through in a really poignant but not dumbed down or preachy manner. So the action that takes place in the series is truly really excellent, but the whole subcontext and the wider ecosystem of topics and concepts it deals with, it's brilliant. I mean, this is something that will be watched in 30 years from now, I guarantee it. And it's really, really underappreciated presently. So do yourself a favor, check out Evil TV series from CBS on streaming services right now. It's amazing, it's really excellent, I can't praise it enough. And it's something that, especially if you're interested in building narratives, for example for games or for other forms of entertainment, you should check out how this series does it, because there's plenty to learn from and plenty to emulate and plenty to analyze for any narrative-oriented professional or someone who's aspiring to be one. So Evil CBS, amazing TV series, you need to check it out. And this episode of I'm Gaming Podcast is all about it. So check it out, invest some time, you're going to be pretty much blown away by it, I kind of guarantee it. That's all for this episode of I'm Gaming Podcast. Thank you so much for watching and listening. There's nothing to watch, there's only stuff to listen. Hopefully you found this interesting. If you did, please consider subscribing. Check out my other videos. I'm mainly into gaming and Unreal Engine tutorials, but other stuff is on the channel as well, a lot more stuff. So a like as well would be very much appreciated for this podcast episode. And don't forget to check out all of the amazing ventures from my Patreon supporters and check out my Patreon page as well. There's also a book I'm shilling here, it's about overcoming procrastination, so if you're interested in that, check out the book also. That's all from me, thank you so much for watching and listening, pretty much only listening. Have a great week and I'll see you on the next episode of I'm Gaming Podcast. Until then, bye bye.